Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet the National Director of Impact Players. It's an amazing nonprofit, and he likes to refer to his members as a band of brothers. His incredible story just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, if you look at all the national surveys, you see that a lot of men are wrestling with isolation, loneliness, depression, and that's because they haven't found their band of brothers, which is why I invited my next guest on the show. Warren Mainard is in the studio. He's the National Director for Impact Players. Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, thanks so much, Jeff. It's a pleasure, and what a wonderful studio you have here.
You're kind. Well, tell us about Impact Players. How did it start?
Yeah, so Impact Players is a little over 20 years old. It started in Seattle, Washington.
Okay.
And it was begun by a former star baseball player at the University of Washington named Matt Wimmer, with a vision of bringing men together and inspiring men to be great husbands, fathers, and leaders. I started attending as a regular guest in 2016, and in 2020 I had the opportunity to be hired as the first executive director of the organization. And of course, you remember 2020 was during the middle of the pandemic. It was a time where a lot of men were in pretty desperate situations.
Sure.
And we just saw a tremendous surge of men who were really looking for camaraderie, community, a band of brothers, a group of friends to help them navigate all of the things that were changing in their lives and culture. And so Impact Players has now grown nationwide, and it's just been an awesome journey to be a part of it.
All right, list off the markets. Where are you located?
Yeah, so Impact Players National really has only been going for about a year now. And in that time, we've been able to start new chapters in Everett, Washington. We're in Dallas, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Charleston, South Carolina, Florence, South Carolina, and we've got several other cities on the target in the next few months ahead.
Outstanding. We found a great video on your website. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Welcome to Impact Players, where we inspire men to be great husbands, fathers, and leaders by equipping them to thrive in the relationships that matter most. Are you asking yourself, how do I become a better man? How can I grow as a husband and father? Can I succeed both at work and at home? We believe the answer is yes. Impact Players provides rock-solid answers and practical tools for men who want to improve in every area of life. Whether you're single, married, a new dad, or a grandfather, our men's groups, leadership training, and resources will help you thrive. Recent studies show men are struggling more than ever. That's why Impact Players is here. We offer cohorts where you can connect with real men like you, courses with actionable steps, and a nationwide community dedicated to winning at home and at work. Join our online community today and access a wealth of materials designed for your growth. Transform your life, impact your family, business, and community. Ready to get started? Visit impactplayers.org now. Be the man you are destined to be with Impact Players.
Incredible. Tell me one of your favorite success stories so far.
Yeah, there's so many great stories of just men who have been transformed in a number of ways. Whether it be older men, guys at my age, but one of my favorite stories is a younger man that came to one of our Impact Players breakfasts. It was actually the month that Richard Stearns, the former director of World Vision, came and spoke to our men, and I had the opportunity to sit down with him for coffee a few weeks later. And he was a young guy. He had never really been discipled as a believer. He'd never really been mentored as a man. And he said, I want to be around some older men who will help me to grow as I prepare for being married and becoming a father. And so over the course of the next couple of years, he joined in with a group of guys in one of our smaller groups that we call cohorts. And we saw him get engaged,
Wow.
get married, become a father, and begin to start growing spiritually in his walk with God. He started leading his family spiritually. I actually had the opportunity to baptize him a few months ago, and to now see him leading other men. And what's so cool about it is that it wasn't just him, and it wasn't just his wife and his now son, but because of the change that was taking place in his life, he started bringing other men, his peers, and they started growing. And I had this really cool experience, Jeff, where I was at a wedding of one of the other men that had gotten touched through this young man. And he walked up to me and he said, Warren, our whole friend group has been transformed by Impact Players. And not only us, but all of our wives and fiancés and girlfriends. Now we're all wanting to pursue God and try to be better husbands and fathers because of what happened in this other man's life. And so it's just, that is kind of the picture of Impact Players, is that one man can impact so many others when he begins to live his life according to the values that God laid out.
Yes. We're going to pull up the website, and as we scroll down the website, talk about what does a perfect candidate look like? I mean, who needs you?
Well, if you are a man and you have air in your lungs, you are a welcome part. But I know that there are so many men out there that they are looking for a band of brothers. They're looking for community, camaraderie. They're feeling isolated, depressed, lonely. And so what we do is we give guys an opportunity to get together and experience that transformative community. One of the things that we offer that I think makes us unique is we have over 20 different courses and cohorts that guys can go through that talk about very specific things that men are dealing with. Like this study that we've got called Stepping Off the Crazy Train. You know, Jeff, you can probably identify with the fact that a lot of people, a lot of men are feeling very stressed out.
Right.
They're overworked. They don't have any time for their families. They're, spending every weekend traveling, doing, travel sports and all these kind of things. And as a result, their souls are suffering. Their families are suffering. There's no communication between them and their spouse. It feels like they're just trying to, manage a schedule instead of lead a family.
Yes.
And so that's just one example of over 20 different studies that we've got for guys to really practically and biblically help them grow as husbands and fathers.
Well, Warren is an excellent communicator, and he has a lot of gold that he puts out on the internet. I found a great video. Let's go ahead and roll that.
There might be some men that are kind of thinking to themselves, man, he deleted the app just because he saw a girl in a bikini or a couple girls in lingerie. It's because you love and you value your wife. You care about her feelings. You care about keeping the fires of your relationship with her strong, that you're willing to take a quote-unquote extreme measure. And I think that that's something that, again, when we talk about what does it mean to be an impact player, that's a perfect example. Being willing to take those extreme measures in order to protect the things that matter most to you. It's those little decisions that can really either promote the romance and the sex and the intimacy in our marriage, or that nothing takes away those three things more quickly than broken trust.
I thought that was a beautiful video, and there are dozens others just like it. So Warren, what does it look like to set up a chapter? How does that work?
Yeah, so we just started a chapter here in the Dallas area, and basically a chapter looks like three different components. They're very, very simple. We have a monthly breakfast that we do for guys, and we like to say that we want that monthly breakfast to feel like a healthy locker room. We want guys to be able to come in, get encouraged. We do dad jokes. We have a bacon guarantee. We tell guys, if you don't walk away with at least one nugget that you can put into your life, that we'll give you a year's worth of bacon. And we haven't given away any bacon thus far, but it's just a great opportunity for guys to meet other men in the community. And then our cohorts are that smaller group, 6 to 10 men. They meet weekly for 7 weeks. I mentioned some of the different curriculums that we've got for those groups. And so if people go online, they can find cohorts meeting all over the country, and they can find online cohorts if there's not one in their neighborhood. And then the third component of a chapter is our leadership development. And so at the end of the day, what we really want to do is help men become the leaders in their homes, their workplaces, their church, their community. And we really focus on training men in practical biblical leadership so that they're actually leading in a way that doesn't, promote their own power, but it promotes the health and the well-being of everyone under their care. So those are really kind of the components of what a chapter looks like. And we're always wanting to talk with people that are saying, hey, how do we get impact players into our community?
Yes. We're almost out of time. So final thoughts. What would you like to leave people with?
Well, I just want to tell men, if you are watching this, you are not alone. There is hope, and we are here to help. We can help you get plugged in with a band of brothers on your own, or we can help you start a band of brothers for your community. But whatever it is, don't do this alone. The lone wolf always dies first. So we want men to learn to step out of isolation and into community so that they can run with a pack, because that's the only way guys can really thrive in the relationships that matter most.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much for sharing your heart and your wisdom with us. We're going to end with his website, which is impactplayers.org. The great Warren Mainard. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate it.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.